everybody's looking pretty darn cute in here. Is that the time? My friends are going to be here any second. Fairy godmother, if you can hear me, I could seriously use some help. Much better. You're watching the Rose Table Disney Dinners Cinderella. This is my 20th Disney dinner, and I don't know about you, but I am in the mood to make some magic. Let's get cooking. When I think Cinderella, I think pumpkins, bows, and that fabulous blue ball gown. I hung twinkling light curtains and blue bows on my dining room doors and decorated with a Cinderella pumpkin and an antique broom. I styled the table with an ice blue tablecloth, glittering silver placemats, white and silver china, white pumpkin soup tureens, and white lace napkins with silver crown napkin rings. For the first time ever, I used chair sashes to make the dining room look a bit more like a royal ball. I love these in particular because they look just like Cinderella's headband. The centerpiece was a sparkling Cinderella pumpkin carriage, white pumpkins, and a couple of white roses. I just love the way this table came together. It's so glamorous and elegant and sparkly. I love that you could see a bit of the twinkling lights from the dining room. It felt a bit like having Fairy Godmother's magic right there on the table. I also hung a silky blue sash from my curtain, decorated the side table with pumpkins and a Fairytale vase, which, by the way, my sister-in-law gave me for Christmas. Does she get me or what? Thanks, Heather. Full of hydrangeas, and wrote Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo on my chalkboard. The real showstopper of the dining room was this custom storybook print I found on Etsy. Does it get more magical than this? For my Cinderella Disneybounding, I wore my blue daily sleeper off-the-shoulder gown with fabulous puffy sleeves and my hair tied with a matching bow. I honestly felt like a real princess. Time for cocktail hour. Meet the Glass Slipper, blue curacao, lemonade, champagne, and a kiss of elderflower liqueur garnished with a magic wand stirrer. I serve the cocktails next to an ice glass slipper I made using a silicone mold. How fabulous is that? It's those little Disney touches I just love. For the first time in Disney Dinner's history, cocktails were served in the sitting room with a pumpkin cheese ball and adorable Cinderella carriage embossed napkins. This cheese ball is really easy to make. You just stir together cheddar cheese, chive and onion cream cheese, and paprika until it's uniform in color. Then you shape it in a ball and wrap it in plastic wrap. To get the pumpkin ridges, tie 3 or 4 pieces of kitchen twine tightly around the cheese ball. This is a fantastic make-ahead party recipe because it's easily good for a week. Take it out of the fridge about an hour before your guests arrive. It's much easier to spread than if it's cold from the fridge. Top the pumpkin with a broccoli stalk and serve with apple slices, celery sticks, and crackers. Okay, now that my friends are here, let's learn how to make the first course. With a little Disney magic, we're going to turn this pumpkin into pumpkin soup. I used a Fairytale pumpkin for the soup, that's the pumpkin here in the center, but you can also use Cinderella pumpkins, the beauties on either side here. Both pumpkin varieties are known for being particularly delicious. If you've never roasted a pumpkin before, you're in for a treat. Roasting this beauty with garlic and rosemary from my garden made my house smell absolutely incredible. Once the pumpkin has cooled, scoop the meat out. You need 4 cups for this recipe, but be sure to save the rest for, maybe pumpkin mac and cheese? How good does that sound? Sauté onions and add the garlic that roasted in the pumpkin, then stir in the roasted pumpkin. Add salt and pepper and chicken broth, then blend it up. You don't need any cream for this incredibly creamy soup because Fairytale pumpkins have such a silky texture. I mean, just look at how luscious this soup is. This is another great make-ahead recipe. I made the soup 2 days before my party, then just heated it up. You could get Fairytale pumpkins for fall decor, then a few days before Thanksgiving, roast them, and make this pumpkin soup for Turkey Day. How thrifty would that be? I served this soup in adorable white pumpkin tureens that made it really look like a fairy tale. Meanwhile, at dinner...
Oh, no.
Which is sort of like the Miss Congeniality. Describe your perfect day. April 25th, because it's not too hot.
It's not too
cold. You just need a light sweater.
On to the main course. I wanted a dinner fit for royalty. I tried to imagine what the king might have served at Cinderella's ball, and you don't get fancier than beef tenderloin. Since Cinderella is a French fairy tale, I gave the tenderloin a French twist with crispy leeks and a fabulous champagne mustard cream sauce. You heard me. Okay guys, there is really no classy way to film this, is there? I got this gorgeous beef tenderloin from Ashcraft Beef at my local farmer's market. High quality meat needs very little help. I roasted it for about 30 minutes just with salt, pepper, and olive oil, then basted it with melted butter and Worcestershire sauce and sprinkled it with rosemary from my garden. Roast it until the internal temperature is at 135 degrees, then tent it and let it rest until it reaches 145.
This is the juiciest shallot, so I had to resort to extreme measures. Can't ruin my makeup.
I served the tenderloin with a quick champagne mustard cream sauce, grilled asparagus, roasted baby potatoes, and crispy leeks. Now that is a dinner you might eat at a castle. We switched to wine for dinner. Coleman Cellars' 2017 Asderie was the perfect old-world French Bordeaux blend to complement both the tenderloin and the mustard sauce, and of course the French theme.
So I don't know if you guys noticed, but the print on the wall is custom made. I'm so in love with this.
I love it.
It says, once upon a time in the kingdom of the Rose Table lived a courageous princess named Katie Rose. In honor of her 20th Disney dinner on September 25th, 2021, the lords and ladies of the land gathered in celebration, just like the page out of a storybook. And from that day forward, she lived happily
Ever after.
Nice.
Cheers. Cheers.
Last but certainly not least, this has got to be one of the most magical desserts I've ever served at a Disney dinner. First, I made chocolate mice filled with caramel using a silicone mold. How cute are they? Jacques and Gus play a big part in Cinderella, and I wanted to pay tribute to them with these cute little chocolate mice. One of the elements that stands out the most to me from Cinderella is the clock striking midnight. I used a clock stencil and cocoa powder to create edible clocks on my plates. Finally, I baked the best mini pumpkin cheesecakes topped with cinnamon whipped cream. Put it together and what have you got? When the clock strikes 12. The idea here is that it's after midnight and Cinderella's carriage has turned back into a pumpkin cheesecake and the horses have turned back into chocolate mice. Plus, mice love cheese, so the mini cheesecakes seemed perfect. I'm so happy with how this dessert turned out. It really feels like something you'd eat at a Disney park. Plus, it's even more delicious than it is adorable. It's really got that Disney magic.
If Cinderella had had this dinner before the ball, she would have intentionally waited till midnight so her carriage could turn into a pumpkin so she could make the pumpkin cheesecake. She's like, screw the slippers, I'm having cheesecake.
Absolutely, maybe seconds, right?
I don't know how you find more and more ways to be creative and the details, everything, you did not miss a beat, everything is perfection as usual.
I'm very honored to have eaten this meal twice.
Aww. Irene gets to test with me.
Dessert was amazing. That was my favorite part. The meat was really good.
Solid menu from beginning to end. The roast was fantastic.
Yeah.
Is this what you expected? Like, did you feel like being here in person, it's what you saw?
Well, it's better because the edited version is going to be glossy and pretty, which is what this is, but the conversation in between.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Stuff that will not make the edit.
Never.
Really made the evening
What
for me.
happens at the roast table
Stays at the rose table.
Rosies, I just want to thank you guys so much for being along for the ride for these last 20 Disney dinners. Here's the next 20 more, and I think there's only one thing left to say. A dream is a wish your heart makes, and I hope that all of your dreams